Welcome, everyone, and thank you for taking time out of your day to join the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education's Early Learning section as we share virtual service delivery information for the Parents as Teachers program in Missouri. My name is Lana Brooks, and I am the director of the Early Learning section. Today, I want to offer words of encouragement to programs who are implementing a virtual service delivery model. We are hoping that this presentation will help answer some questions you may have about the department's view on virtual service delivery. At the end of the presentation, if you have questions or need additional clarification, I would urge you to reach out to your early learning supervisor by phone or email. For our agenda, I will share briefly the department's perspective on virtual service delivery and the temporary adjustments that we have made for services being delivered through the virtual platform during this time of COVID-19. I want to start with Desi's perspective on the Parents as Teachers program during this time of significant change. First, we want to recognize that everyone's health and safety is important. If you are a supervisor, make sure you are checking in with your staff often and spending time doing reflective supervision more frequently. Don't miss the opportunity to care for yourself and your team. Everyone is important to this work ahead of us. We also want to provide flexibility for programs during this time of social distancing and provide the information and resources that can equip every program with the tools needed to support and meet the needs of families and children in Missouri. While we are working to provide this flexibility, we also hold firm to the intent of the Parents as Teachers services. We want to maintain the integrity of the program, and we value the impact these services are having on our families being served. This is why we are aligning our work around the Parents as Teachers National Center guidance on virtual service delivery. We also hope that this eases the burden on districts who are trying to do this very important work. Missouri Parents as Teachers programs are required to provide the 4 components of Parents as Teachers, including family personal visits, developmental screenings, group connections, and providing families with needed resources in the community. These services will continue to be documented in the same fashion as previously required. So how do these services look in the virtual platform? We are making temporary adjustments to what reimbursable services look like. Refer to the TA brief titled Supporting Families During COVID-19 Public Health Crisis, Model Guidance for Virtual Service Delivery, provided by the Parents as Teachers National Center. This document provides specific guidance on the delivery of the 4 required components. For family personal visits, DESE has expanded options for delivery to include interactive virtual communication visits and telecommunication visits. The Parents as Teachers National Center provides clear guidance on the content of these visits, and I would encourage you to refer to that content as you move forward with your virtual home visits. Remember that documentation is important to secure reimbursement through DESE. All personal visits, regardless of the delivery type, must be documented appropriately. Prior to the visit, parent educators must complete the personal visit plan or planning guide. Following the visit, a visit record must be completed. Developmental screenings can be provided through a virtual platform as well. The ASQ screening instrument lends itself for delivery in a virtual setting, and the Parents as Teachers National Center has provided information specific to the use of this instrument should you need assistance. I understand that this may not be the instrument that you would normally use with your preschool age children. Programs will need to consider their current screening instruments and make the needed adjustments given these circumstances. These developmental screenings must be documented as required in the Early Childhood Development Act Administrative Manual. It is important to note that DESE will be waiving the functional assessment requirement for hearing, vision, and dental during the COVID-19 crisis. Virtual screenings will be reimbursable as long as all other documentation is in place. Some districts are joining small groups of families together for group connections. This allows families to interact with others during this time of social distancing. I would encourage you to continue providing teen-specific group connections when possible. Those group connections for teens will be reimbursed in the same fashion they have in the past. Refer to the ECDA Administrative Manual for documenting group connections. Only properly documented group connections should be reported in Section 4 of the final invoice. Many of you may be overwhelmed with the services that are coming into communities at this time. Families are always in need of resources, especially now more than ever. Remember that resource connections do not have to be about locating diapers, food, or immunizations. It may be for things like fun virtual trips to the zoo or museum, something to break up the day for families that are not accustomed to spending as much time together as they are now. Like group connections, resources provided to families need proper documentation to be reported in Section 4 of the final report. I want to give you a reminder to be sure and contact your early learning supervisor if you need additional clarification or have questions that were not addressed in today's presentation. A question and answer document will be posted on our webpage in the near future. We look forward to hearing from you. It will be important to remember that we are aligning closely with the National Center when addressing virtual service delivery. Their information is changing almost daily as we work to provide the most current guidance. Also, be sure and visit the Missouri Parents as Teachers Association, or MOPATA webpage. They are hosting weekly Zoom calls every Monday during this COVID-19 crisis. You do not need to be a member to participate in these calls. Simply access the call information by clicking on the Grow tab on your webpage, on their webpage. Our next recorded webinar will be Parents as Teachers End of the Year Reporting. This webinar will include information on how to report virtual services, a review of the new final invoice Section 4 data collection questions will also be addressed, along with the adjusted reporting deadline for programs delivering virtual services. Again, contact us if you have questions. Be safe and healthy as you make your impact on our youngest children by supporting Missouri families through the Parents as Teachers program. We so look forward to our time where we can come back together as a group and share our stories on this interesting journey that we're on through the virtual platform. Thank you for your time, and please be safe. Thank you.